Hi, Jen. How are you?
Don.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Awesome. Thank you. It's so great to get a chance to chat with you today. You are definitely one of those artists that, I've been listening to for a long time and that
Uh,
have sort of been in the musical landscape, throughout Canada. You are a skillful and a decorated songwriter. And I'm curious, when it comes to writing songs, how do your songs come to you?
oh, you know what? Yesterday I was writing a song. Sometimes people ask me if I write songs all the time, and it's not the case. I mean, if I sit down, I can write, I can attempt to write a song, but
Mm.
they come in bursts, like I'll write a record and I'll go crazy. I I mean, my friend who's visiting me, he's like, "You have ADHD." And I'm like, "What? Does it matter? I don't want to change the way I do things, but like I'm working on this garden right now and I like was working on it and then I got ready. I was so dirty and I had a bath and then I was all ready for bed and I went out and I kept gardening because I couldn't stop. And that's how I am with music. I'm building a thing and I'm like that with painting and gardening
Mm.
and music and cleaning, which I'm like, this is good because how else am I going to get anything done with these
Yeah.
two kids in this busy life? So usually it's in bursts, but yesterday, my kids were home. And so it was just like, okay, I'm going to shift what I'm doing today. And they were just hanging around and I was just sometimes just so nice when you can just drink coffee and just sit and play guitar. And I just had this
Mm.
lovely experience opening for Feist in Halifax, a really lovely hang with her. And I think just being around her inspired this melody. And I just wrote a little song. So it's usually in bursts of activity where I'm feeling very
Mm-hmm.
devoted to the creation of a project. But there are also times where things just kind of float. And then, Susan O'Neill, my friend from Ireland, this great singer songwriter, is here and she wants to write a song tonight. So we're already
Wow.
sort of talking about themes for that. And we're
Oh
going to
my
go to the
gosh.
show and then we're going to write a song. It's sort of like I talk about
Mm.
being in a space of needing to percolate and kind of gathering things from your atmosphere so that you have something to go into it as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And don't you find, I mean, I find that activities like, baking or gardening or cleaning kind of like help to stoke the fires of my creativity. It's like, it's an important part of the process, right?
Yeah, because you're letting yourself meander in your
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. You're not being distracted by whatever, hopefully. With I'm talking about, cell phones. And
Yeah.
if you can let yourself have the opportunity and the gift to let your mind wander while you do these kind of therapeutic, like I find that stuff
Mm-hmm.
therapeutic, kind of like soul cleansing. Like I tell my sister-in-law, like sometimes I'll be like, I'm rage cleaning because I'm just like, "Arr!" And I'm like, I'll just clean the fridge. My mom used to always say too when I was a teenager, like, it's important that you go for a walk without your disc man, honey,
Mm-hmm.
because you need to let time for creative thoughts come in. And she was right.
Moms. Yeah. Yeah,
Mom.
they've got some good stuff, moms.
Mm.
So, I'm curious more about your collaborative
Yeah.
work. So you mentioned that you're writing with Susan O'Neill, and then for your latest album, Champagne Problems, you wrote with Dan Mangan, Baja Bullet. What was that like collaborating with folks like that?
It was a real treat.
Mm.
I mean, I used to come from a place where I would think that writing songs, like going into a room with if somebody with a guitar or something, was kind of like this cliche
Yeah.
Nashvilleian like sort of thing, and like sort of disingenuous for some reason, or like embarrassing. And I would collaborate with people in kind of other ways where I'd be like, "Well, send me some music and I'll sing on top of it because I want to be alone." But I I really got into that process of first kind of noting what the other artist process is and how we come together, and then also finding that space with another person. There's a new type of vulnerability
Yeah.
with that, and it can be so heartwarming and revealing and really bonding.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, God, like just bonding is just one of the main points of our existence as humans in this life. So having the opportunity to bond with artists over, making a song is is so fun and special.
Yeah.
So
Do you get nervous?
was I nervous? No.
No. Oh, that's great.
I didn't know how I was going to go with Bahamas. I find he's a little bit harder to get to know. So I didn't know, but it was really great. It was great.
That's fantastic. So, your latest album, Champagne Problems, like many artists, it's the result of spending a lot of time at home during a particular time in the global world. Speaking of the great panini of 2020. So you were fruitful, you had some ideas and some thoughts, but I'm curious, where did the title Champagne Problems come from?
Well, it's really kind of just like it's not a joke, but it's kind of about just there are so many artists that I would love to work with in this country alone. And just wanting to kind of like, it's kind of like first world problems, like, you're thinking about being lonely or something. And, there's so many other things going on that, but also this is, these things have value too.
Yeah, definitely. That's great. Sunday morning, you're in your studio, the light's streaming in, you have a great cup of coffee, and you're, puttering around. What album do you put on?
Oh, I really, really was listening to the Feist album. I listen to a lot of records when I'm painting because I'm a painter too, but secondary kind of. So yeah, I was listening to Multitudes quite a bit, and Dan Mangan's latest record. I've been listening to that a lot too. And sometimes I listen to like Indian yoga music, and Krishna Da, and then I just have a bunch of classics. On Sunday morning, for a long time, religiously, I think maybe around 2019, every Sunday I'd listen to Daniel, Fred, and Julie, which is a record, Julie Doiron made with, I think Dan was a Daniel Romano, and Fred, forget his last name, but it's a great record. And we'd always I think I was pregnant, listen to that every Sunday and make French toast.
Oh,
and it was
that
just like
sounds
a
great.
beautiful tradition. And the coffee, it's that thing about, just like Sunday morning, there's something about when I'm working, it's something else, but Sunday morning, it's more like that, or like sort of like something with like 70s guitar, like,
Little Feet or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love it. I dig it.
Something light and heartwarming, and nostalgic and pretty. That makes me feel kind of airy and floaty. That's my Sunday morning vibe.
Oh, I'm there. I'm there. I can smell the French toast. Can taste the maple syrup. That's beautiful. Okay, I would love to play a song from the new album. Can you pick one and tell our listeners about it?
I mean, I don't know. They're all so good.
I know.
You know what? It's so fun because it's not me. Like, I mean, it is me, but it's everybody.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
So like, it is really good. I love it so much. I love this record. I never would say that about a solo record.
I know.
So anyway,
I know. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think maybe Nobody's Fool? That's my husband's favorite.
Yes, let's do it. Nobody's Fool.
My good friend Aquaculture.
Incredible. Nobody's Fool.
Yeah, we got a video coming out for that in the fall. I just shot with my brother and my sister-in-law.
Oh my gosh. Is your entire family very creative and cool?
Those ones are really talented. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, from the album Champagne Problems, this is Nobody's Fool by Jenn Grant and
Aquaculture!
Aquaculture!